Hello again YouTube, and we're back with this radio which I had in my last video. So this radio I changed the transformer on, and when I played it, it was getting some really weird distortions. In fact, if I play some music now, I've got it connected to my phone via Bluetooth, and I'm going to play some royalty-free music from Bluetooth. You'll hear it sounds terrible and distorted. Well, I won't play that too long because it's just really annoying. So I've got an oscilloscope set up on the output of the transformer. So the yellow wire there is neutral, and then the two black wires are plus and minus 12 volt. Because my theory was being this was a too low voltage rated transformer and it was clipping. Because I didn't know what voltage rating the transformer that came from it was. And 12 volt seemed like a good number. But it's not the case. If you look at the scope probes, that's not a very clean sine wave. And this is on the output. You can see here you got a very flat, but you say what you meant is a very nice crisp sine wave, and these two bits don't join up. So I think that's what's causing the distortion. This sine wave has been produced by that inverter over there, so maybe that inverter is not giving out a nice clean sine wave, and that's what we're hearing on the radio. It's possible. So what I'm going to do is just take it indoors and see if the audio is better indoors on real mains. The only slight downside to my theory is when I turn the radio on and off by the switch here, we do see quite a substantial change in one of the channels. I'm assuming that will be the positive side, or where it's taking its positive feed from to run all the other electronics on here. I'm not sure how this radio's worked, if it's using plus and minus just for the amplifier and the positive stage for the radio bit. So yes, I don't know how the power supply is configured in this, but and just dropping like that is a little bit worrying. Kind of suggests that the transformer isn't beefy enough to power it, which is a bit odd because it's like a 6 amp transformer, and I'm pretty sure it's not taking 6 amps. I'm a bit confused. I'm going to play. Do not try this at home. I'm a professional idiot. So plug socket, exposed solder connections, transformer, oscilloscope, and my sine wave is looking very nice and clean. So that suggests the inverter is actually putting out a nice decent sine wave. Worrying why this isn't showing that. Maybe it is clipping and it's just putting some really horrible artifacts on the transformer. Incidentally, that is, how many volts is that? 40 volts? Really? Interesting. So I've tried this indoors and it's the same, so it's not anything to do with the actual main supply, because indoors is the mains. So if I look on the on the input voltage of the Bluetooth module, you see my 10 volts is actually a really nice wiggly line. So there isn't enough power to keep the rails up high. This can be fixed obviously with caps or a better input supply. So I think this transformer needs changing for a higher voltage one, but the question is, what voltage do I go to? I don't really want to take this board out because of all this silly wire stuff that does the tuning dial, but I might have to just have a look. Well, that wasn't fun to get out, and now my wire bobbin thing is now sitting down there all tangled up, so I've got to somehow get that back together again. And then we've got to look at the input, which is AC somewhere here. Wires. So this is the main filter cap here. So your two AC lines come in here, gets rectified, go into this, and this is only a 16 volt cap. I've got 12 volts on the input of the transformer, so I'm surprised it's not working. Is it possible this cap's no good? Or does it need a bigger cap? It's a bit weird, but maybe, just maybe. I could always put a scope on these and see what's on the output of this cap. It's also interesting to know that these caps go across the rectification diodes, and this one is a darker browner colour. suggesting it may have gone short and got a bit hot. Again, something to look at. Well, that's interesting. Looking across this diode, it's... Oh, I've come off it. Oh dear. It's a... Come on. Dead short. So that it's possible that cap is gone short. So maybe you should just wiggle the cap off and see if the short goes away. Right, so I've cut the leg of the cap off, and now that diode's measuring like a diode. So that is probably the cause of all the problems, is the fact that this cap's gone. And luckily, it's got a funny colour, so you can see it's a broken cap. So I'll wiggle it off entirely, because I don't think you need a cap there. It's probably just noise suppression. I mean, get off the board! Come on. I'm doing the wiggly cap method here. Talk amongst yourselves. And I'll get some cutters. Right, cap removed. Board propped back in. I need to work out how on earth that all went. Excuse me for now, but YouTube audio library, phone connected, and it sounds decent. We have fixed it. Woo! So I'm a bit excited, but that's good. So it turns out we had a bad diode on the input, not diode, capacitor going across a diode on the input rectifier. Bit weird, it's working. I now need to get this back together again. This could take some time, so I will say thank you for now, and I shall see you later. Bye.